How's about that? There we go. That's weird. OBS just decided, you know what? New audio. I don't like this one anymore. There we go. Oh, the joys. The joys. And now, let's fix my camera really quick, because apparently it's going to be one of those days. Yep, and it's going to fall over. Cool, 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 cool. Let's try that again. We're off to a great start. There. Fixed everything. Okay. That's all good. Now we need a console and a database. Database achieved. Console achieved. Everything set up. Tunage. All right, so now we got all that sorted out. We need to finish moving tests over. And I am definitely coming down with a cold. Or have one. It's a mild one. Okay. Why is everything... Oh, because this is character. We don't need that. We don't need that right now. These are done for now. We're up to getting characters. So now we need to handle the character select. We need to pick a good character and then a bad character. And then a bad message. And then an unknown character. And then we do some logouts. Okay. So let's do... I'm going to again borrow all this setup code. And then... do that. Register account, not create account. That like so. Ah, forgot email. There we go. Easy peasy. We don't care about the ID, right? Meow. Just thinking. I think we talked about moving or having the character creation return an ID, but it's not ready yet. But this needs to be not a walrus. We need to create one. Like so. Okay. That takes us up to where we are. Right, meow. Now we need to build it's in character operations, display info. We're going to need to get the display info back since we won't know. So that means we're going to need all of this. I'm going to pull you out into a helper as well. Damn it. Okay. This is going to need that. And it's going to return sure that. Like so. Like so. That this goes away. That ultimately gets returned. Means we're going to care about this. Oops. We'll be a walrus now. And then like so. And here we expect fatal if there's not at least one. And then we will do the login request. So it's just the character. Okay, so actually let's steal some stuff from our past selves here real quick. This block again. All of this will go down here. This will be except for the only care about that. This is 0.id. I don't need. Oh, whoops! I did this all wrong. This is still a message. This is the one. That needs to be that. We'll call it that. We'll do that. This is no longer registration. It's character. It's still client submit though. That's all still good. We still send and await, but no, this one is only one response. We expect to see character. It'll change both of those. That's okay. And we expect operation success here. And we expect no body, which means we actually expect a new line body. If I could type today, there. Do I want to pull this? Yes. It will make my life so very slightly easier. I don't think I did that before, but it's fine. This should pass now. We're good. Make sure we run the whole set. We didn't step on ourselves. We didn't. Good. Let's do the ready test separately. So we just need a bad character and a bad message. Why were we testing that? I don't remember, but I think there was a reason for it. So we're going to rock and roll with it. But we're going to basically duplicate this test. But it'll be a bad character request. We're still going to create a character. Or we're just going to send a random string in. Okay. Like so. All of that is fine. This... we don't actually need to get the character list. We don't actually care about the ID. Just that it exists and we're logged in. New UID string in there for our fake request or bad request. And then we submit that all the same way, but we expect... we should get this one back, I think. That should become this. And we're good. Okay, perfect. And then the other test... so that one, basically the return and the code path is the same. Oh, we got bad message too. Okay, we can do that. This other, the one with the bad, Bad character. We need to make another character. We're going to submit an ID that's valid, but try to log into a character that's not our own. This one is just... We can still make him, that's fine. This, however, is wrong. We don't even need this. We just need to send in some junk. And it should give me same return, I think. I shouldn't have minimized that. Does not. Okay. Server error processing command. Oh, right. What was I trying to test here? Who's up here? It should be server error message. I think that's the only mistake I made. It's just an error message. There we go. Perfect. Pretty sure we were just testing to make sure we handled it gracefully. And we'll do one more. It's gonna look a lot like this one, but yeah, unknown character. This is going to be one. This can actually stay as that. Let's Okay. So we need to do that. Actually, let's do this. Word that I need to have 2 clients here. Or in some other way disconnect from the one after we do this setup. You falling over, Twitch? You shouldn't be falling over. Stop falling over. Yeah, you're fine. That's fine. That's all fine. We just want you to exist. I'm gonna need another client. So we've set up our target. We need to actually pull his character first before we do this. That, we do that. Okay, whatever. We could probably pull this out. We should, because we're gonna need... we're gonna need it when we test logging out. So we can pull it out now. We're gonna do that. This is the wrong one to copy from. I'm going to copy from this one because it's going to give us a good result and check the good stuff. You live in here. You're only going to return an error. You're going to take that. Oh, we also need a client, yeah. That one, oops. That again. There we go. Rid of that. Turn nil here. Now up here, we can do all of this can be, well, we're gonna need, yeah, we're gonna need that, but hang on, I don't have to log into this guy. No, I just need to create it. Well, okay, yeah, I got ahead of myself. That's okay. We'll still need that for the other stuff. Hang on, I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Being out among people, I have caught the crud. Yes, good. Okay. We do need to create a second client. I'm 100% certain. Otherwise, we'd have to disconnect all that stuff, and we don't really want to because there's to reconnect, and we just redo this anyway. So, we create the character. That. We'll call you malicious client. I need to get character list is what I need. And this is we called you target ID. And not that. Oh no, I renamed you. Let's fix that. Okay, good. Being characters for target count like so. Should we catch that? If it happen, okay. Then we need to that's fine. We can do that. And then here we need to do basically all of this again, but I'm not going to care about that. This is just the test username. And you are... I'm gonna do that. We don't need to create a character or get a list for it, though. We don't need to check that. This is target ID. That's all the same. That's the same. That's the same. Character operation failure. Invalid character. I think we're good. Except, oh, it's target car ID. That should be good. But I got nothing. We got a success. That ain't right. Ooh. I bet this fails if there's no, if he has no characters. Let's check that. Yeah. Okay. So we do need to create a character for our malicious guy. Okay, this is a good test for us to add, though, too. But this will be character select, no character. So we skip these. That. We won't care about that. Still log in. But we're going to expect a different answer. And it's going to be... Let's actually do it in the same way. We'll do that. Should be a failure now, and we should see invalid character message in here instead. That'll pass this one now. This one is actually going to pass too, but it's not correct. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, because we got a we still got a success. Why do we still get a success? Did I? Because I sent it to the wrong client. There we go. Okay. But we need to also have a character in here to make sure. We should break these up. We're going to borrow this, though, except for... We're going to do that. And then we're going to say... Do we already have... Let's bring you up here. Let's just do that. And then this will be... that. And we're actually going to put you... We don't even need to unmarshal anything. If you don't own any characters, then you don't belong in here. And then we can take this out of there. Now it's going to break our test, but that's fine. In here, we're going to say... No characters found message. Now, everything but the last one, the unknown character one should pass. No. Oh. Because we didn't create a character for you. Okay. No, we did. We did. Bad character. It's because we didn't get... We need to... We need to tighten that up on our server behavior, but that's fine. That'll kind of go into the refactor as part of a thing we think about. In the meantime, we're going to mock the behavior more faithfully here, because we created but we never a character list. That should fix select bad car. Yes. Same here. We're gonna need to. We do create. That. Did I forget to do this? I think I did. I forgot to do that last test. Yep, sure did. All right. Good. Now unknown just needs to be fixed. So we create you. We get that. Now we create you. That's wait, no, not that. Okay, now we should get the correct answers back, I hope. And we do. Yay! Okay. It was a little more intense than I was expecting, but that's okay. We spotted a bug and fixed one, so that's good. Add tests for handle character select fix bug when there are new characters. Bug that skipped checking character ownership, and there are no characters associated with the account. Okay. Now we just need to do logging out. So, last couple, we need to log out from character selection and... Oh, from selected, right. Yes, because that's the only valid place to log out right now. We will want to fix that later. But that's for later. And adding tests for that will come later. For now, we can only log in from when a character is selected. So we need to go through the whole shebang. So let's actually just do this guy. Except for this will be... and a log out. That's probably fine. We go... to that. We can then use... log into character 0 ID. Oh my gosh, I cannot type today. You're missing that. That replaces all of that. Actually, we're gonna need to keep all of this actually, because so we're logged in now. Now we need to do log out, and that is in client message. So we need to send it. Okay, yeah, this is easy. Easy peasy peasy peasy. Okay, we don't need this guy. Text. Or no, client input. Text version good. Oops. Byte. Log out. This is Dart, not Go. Let's fix that. Now let's go. We're still expecting Ivan. Ooh, no. I need to send ready, I think. Maybe. Let me refresh my own memory here. That spawns me. And logout's gonna want to despawn me. I do need to send ready. All right. We're gonna need mostly this. Basically. Except for its character? What are you? You are character. Not sure I love that. Ready. We don't care about a body here. Can be nil. this is going to be the first time we use more than one reply. We're going to go through them, but that's fine for now. We're going to just knock that out right quick, fix that right quick. Perfect. Okay. It's going to get a little tricky. Let's just get this going really quick first. This we're going to expect one, two. This is going to be we're going to say no, oops. No reply messages received. And this is actually just going to be a regular old error, not a format string. Oh, that's going to make it a errors new. That's fine and dandy. We're going to get rid of that. No, we're going to leave that. We're going to say that we want to see server message Rich, what are you doing today? Why are you unhappy with life? Anyway, this should be server message text and this is going to be client game manager, but I have access to. No, this is going to come from do I have access to anything for the config? Map config, game manager config. None of that. It's going to matter though. Because we just start a new server here. Okay, so test game manager should have yes. Oops. Yes. That we can test against because that'll get us into there. Okay, and then here or not that, but errors new. Apply message count too low. Should be to only got one. Let's do a format error here. If we return sooner on a bad length, then we miss out on all this other testing that we can verify that, you know, and use to track down what's going on. That's why I don't want to do it up there. But here we need to do basically all this again. Because we need to validate. This becomes that. Unwalrusize that. And that. We're still expecting... No, I lied. We're not expecting server message. We're expecting character and operation success. And then we expect just an empty byte for now. And then we're going to say if it's greater than 2, bad message count should be that got that. I did that backwards. That's fine. This is expected. Apply count. That. Okay. That'll square away our send ready helper, I hope. So in here, log in, send ready. Not that. That. Oh my gosh. What an idiot. There we go. Error, sending ready. Message to server. Okay, then we send log out. We only expect one reply from you, I think. Log out. I should see character and I should see goodbye. And that should be all. See if I forgot anything. Probably did. Name combination is not unique. Yep, forgot to do that. Okay, so we got our MOTD. Except for we didn't. Okay, so we need to fix our comparison in here. Or our error message, rather. Because in this case, it needs to be a quoted string. If I could hit the button. That's going to tell me that there's no new line on one of these. Yeah. Wanted, got. So in here, we need to say... Up until we fix this, we need to say that. Okay, now. Oh, I forgot. Got game update. Oh, I forgot a thing. This is actually 3. We're going to chuck... We ignore last message. It's the initial look data. Hard to test. Hard / fragile to test. We want... Actually, this is only ever going to give us what we asked for out of it, which is kind of not a great idea, but otherwise we'd have to have like a wait and a timeout. It would really slow down our tests. Wow, my camera has gone super blurry. Let me fix that again. You look away for 2 seconds, I tell you. My connection seems to be struggling now too. That's fun. There. Perfect. Let's leave the note up here, actually, then. Must empty it from the buffer. So as not to pollute data for whatever test comes after this. And hopefully I've counted correctly this time. And I have! Yay! And the peasants rejoiced. Okay. Yeah, I forgot I did that. Yeah, it'd be very difficult to manage that in another way. One more then. It's going to look pretty much the same, except for it's going to be a count logout. This should actually be character logout. And in fact, this should also be character logout, just for the sake of... Yeah, that one's good. Just for the sake of sanity, in case we go looking through stuff later. This is going to be a count logout. It's going to look very much the same, except we don't really have a way to get the state out of... We don't have a way to get the state out yet. We could have some sort of like a sync request or something where we would do just a ping to the server essentially and say, hey, tell me about your state. Not sure if that's a good idea or not. Being able to see the goodbye response should be sufficient to know what's up. We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do that. And we need to know. This should return a connection goodbye, not a character goodbye. That should all be all we need to change, I think. I hope. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. Tests have been migrated over, and they use more machinery. Add tests for logging out of character and account. Okay. I have a case of the sleepies. That is for sure. Now that we've done that... Oh my gosh, have I really been pushing to main this whole time? What an idiot. Yep, sure did. Okay. That's cool. There's no real harm in it in this case, but you know. Just not really great practice. I'm usually better about that. Yep, totally forgot. Okay. All right. Let's retroactively fix ourselves. Well, not retroactively, but let's be better from now on about this change. Uh, we'll do a new branch for refactoring client handler. Okay. Man. So, as long as we don't break these tests that we just wrote in a surprising way, we should be good to kind of tear this thing apart a little bit. Actually, I want you over here. I think I want you over here and you over here. And you can live over here for now, too. Okay. I don't want to break this task up. I'm not going to need a lot of this stuff over here anymore. Because we test this via integration tests now. I'm wondering whether or not I should just chuck all of the tests and keep the setup main function. Or if there's anything that we can pull out of here that consists of, you know, things that are of value still. Given what we plan to change. That we can go away with. These are going to go away almost certainly. Yeah, let's just leave it for now, and we'll add stuff on top, and as they become broken, which they will, we'll kind of evaluate them as we go, I think. That seems like the sane-ish way to go about this. As far as the handler itself, what we're going to need to do is I think here we're gonna want states that have an enter and an exit that'll help us clean things up. How do I want to lay these out? We're gonna have don't know if there's any value in renaming this because for character, we put them all in the same package. And we're probably going to have to do the same thing here. Because it's going to have to reach up and change things in here as part of its job, right? And I'm reasonably okay with that. So let's do a state. This will define what the state is and what it kind of looks like, right? Can be internal. It needs this actually needs to be an interface. You need an onEnter function, onExit, and handle message. And a string. We need to rename you so that we're not redeclaring. Call you a state label. We're going to exclude those and hope for the best. And then this can be a state proper. We're going to need also where do I want to put this? The change function that's going to do them. We can do like a next state function, but I don't think I want to do that. I want to be able to move between them back and forth. Or do I? We might still want the label to exist. We can use that for the state string. Maybe it's not string. Maybe it's maybe it is label. I like that better. Which returns a string. But we do need you to be able to sort of command state changes. Um, but if we put it in here, then it has to reach back over here. So it would have to know who its parent is, which gets kind of sloppy. But if it doesn't have that information in here, how do we command the state change, right? We can keep this internal. For one thing. Oops. We probably want to kind of do like we do with the client to have a valid states. Tell you what, be back, right back 1 second. Fine. Whatever crud I have picked up is not fun. Hopefully, that will start to help. So, where was I? I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. That's what I was trying to do. So, unless I could somehow pass a reference to myself in, this requires some research. Because we kind of fell down this rabbit hole a little bit before when we were working on character, but I want to review some stuff. And this... This is not... I guess we could just pass in a function for the... for the change. Where was the other one? Was it this one? This doesn't even go. There we go. This seems like way overcomplicated. Way overcomplicated. Where's the... It's here. Action struck destination. So action has a destination. Current is action, destination. And then they loop through. But it's not exactly what we want, because this, in this one, this example, main is driving this transition through this. We want to be able to drive our transitions from the inside the state. They're the ones that are going to decide what we should do. The other thing we can do is, because in a kind of similar way to that example, out here we're going to be doing the session stuff. So we have a loop already for right here, where we're doing stuff every time we get a message. We unpack it, we read it out, we unpack it, and then do stuff to it, right? Decide how to handle it correctly. Here, we return all these things because we wanted just one whatchamadealio, and we send response here. But we can send responses from inside the state. That's perfectly fine. It's all in the same package. So once we're in here, okay, so if handle message returns a state label, then we can call next state in here. Or we could also call on exit and then call, figure this, yeah, let's do that. Let's take this out of here. We don't need that in there. We can do the state transition and stuff out here. That's probably okay. Then we don't need to do that. I like this idea so much more so already. I don't know that I love this, though, because then they need to know... I'm worried that it becomes difficult to debug in here. If we did... I guess we can constrain it after the fact if we need to with like a map out here. I just don't think... Doesn't feel like we need one just yet. let's go with this. We'll store a state label inside the session. That way we don't have to keep pulling it out of here. Except for we would need to map labels to these guys. Wanted to do that. So that'd be a little tricky. We have... Right now we only have 3 different states that you can be in. If you're unauthenticated, you become authenticated. From here, you should be able to go backwards and forwards. From character select, you can go either backwards or all the way to unauthenticated if you exit. No, I don't want to do new. I want to... What am I doing wrong there? Is it squarely basis? It's brackets. Brackets go there. Okay. Right? No. What am I forgetting? That should be accurate. Should be correct. Oh. Because I want to make that. That's what I wanted. Okay. So in here we do this. Won't let us go backwards though. Let's worry about that in a second. This needs to actually be a state. It's gonna break everything. That's fine. Can do that. Not interface, struct. In here, we need to implement some things. Oh, this doesn't actually need to be a string. State label. It'll be a string when we really print it out anywhere. Oh, that's what I was. Duh. We need on enter. On exit. Handle message. We'll just do that for now as a placeholder. And then we can do label method as a pointer receiver. Oh. I don't think we need pointers here. I think we're okay without. So that should be fine. Is there anything else we need here? I could actually do... No, I can't do that. I'm wondering if I need to be able to access the mutex from inside of here as well. Not 100% sure. But maybe not. Because everything will kind of get serialized at this point in theory. Maybe, maybe not. We might have to lock when we switch it. That's possible too. We'll worry about that in a minute though. What do we need to handle in here? That's all broken, but that's fine. We'll fix that up when we kind of get things squared away in here. This all. Okay, so this needs to take a byte string, byte array. And then we're gonna have to do all of this in here essentially. We can still use on Marshall, that's fine. Let's cut. We need all this too. Kind of. Let's cut this here. Let's do we can also call you data. I'm okay with that. We need to import you. We need to import you. Import you. That's broken, but that's fine. You need to know who your game manager is so that you can call these functions. We could give you... What did I call you? Game client. Could give you a reference to your parent. That would kind of fix a lot of these trubs. And then we would do... But... This would then need to be... Pointer. Think? Because we want to use... Yeah, we want to use the same instance here that we create. So that means... These will need to be a pointer reference. Which makes sense. And then this would need to be... And we need to give you... Here we need... We need that. Which means that this is that like so. And if we're gonna do that in 2 places, we might as well do that. And then instead of returns here, let's fix this really quick. Can I return nil for a state label? I think I can. No. Because it's in an enum. Kind of. I'm gonna think about this a little bit. This is promising. I'd like to break these up into switches, I think. That'll be a little tidier. These will be send message type things. I don't know about this returning a state label thing. We already have a reference to the parent. I would kind of like this to just drive a next state or previous state function, but then we would need to put that into the struct or something like that, or put it into a global map or list. We can kind of do like we did in the UI, where we had a map of allowed state changes, and we made it. We have the set state in there that lived in the global state. Not exactly sure how I want to tackle that. But this will be better either way, because we'll be able to encapsulate and clean up a lot of stuff. So I do like that. I think I'm going to leave it here. Oh, I guess we just fired off an ad break. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I'm going to leave it here for today. I'm not feeling super hot, so I'm tired. So I'm going to go to bed. But we'll come back tomorrow. And we'll kind of noodle around with this a little bit and see if we can come up with something that feels a little better. So I'm not 100% convinced this is good or not, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, so thanks for everybody who came and hung out. Appreciate it. And I'd love to see you again. I do this thing 4 days a week, starting on Friday, ending on Monday. So tomorrow. So I'll be here tomorrow as well. Unless my days are messed up. Yeah, no, it's Sunday. Okay. So, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Central Time in the US here. Twitch, you have a schedule. YouTube, you do not, because they make it difficult for me. So you'll have to do math. But I'd love to see you again.